So when it was finally game time and dealing with the actual threat at hand, them lights were bright as shit. Usopp did everyone so dirty. This man Usopp was shaking in his boots and did the best thing he knew how.
Run for your life! Oh man, I knew you were gonna do that!
Recently on social media, I've noticed a trend amongst influencers that is even worse than it was 10 years ago. People who act as a character in a fictional scenario just to entertain their audience. The term now used to describe these people is known as a larper. Now, with all the content on my channel focusing on agendapiece, I think it's only natural to bring up the biggest larper of One Piece itself, which is this bastard right here, long-nosed Usopp, aka Sniper King, aka Usopp, aka God Usopp. And the funny part about all these names is that they are fully acknowledged from the sheer amount of D1 larping he has committed. I already know that the Usopp sins will probably be on my head in the comments, but hear me out for just a second, because him being a D1 larper actually isn't necessarily a bad thing. To be honest, it actually led him to clutching up in some damning situations that saved everyone's asses. If anything, him not doing this after Dressrosa was the downfall of his character arc. It's so bad that people were begging for this man to either get a Thor-like power-up in elbaph, or just look at a full metal bucket and kick that bitch. At least until the current events in the manga, bruh. Bro really provoked an ancient god to get out of his house and reveal his true form.
You suck, buddy! You're a piece of shit! Come on up here! No, come on up here! Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great.
This reminds me of Krillin trolling Giant Form Frieza after he was revived by Dende, only to then turn into the 4th of July 10 episodes later. And what's crazy is that these two in the English dub have the exact same voice actor. Hopefully Usopp doesn't get turned into a cherry bomb, but this man is due for something big to happen. And I get why people like this character so much, because pre-time skip Usopp was the most clutch goofball I have ever seen. From Arlong Park to Alabasta to our next stop, which is Water 7. And peep how I just skipped Skypiea since it is what started it all. The Going Merry was building up a lot of damage and mileage, especially from it shooting up above the clouds all the way to the big drop into G8, which was a fantastic filler, by the way. Check it out. This man Usopp treated this ship like it was his baby ever since they were gifted it at his island. So this man became a budget shipwright until Water 7. That is where everything fell apart. Especially when Luffy decided to get rid of the ship. That's when Usopp had a whole RAS flip and went through a semi-psychosis. In his mind, them getting rid of the ship is basically them getting rid of him. This moment really exposed his inferiority complex despite him larping his way through the vast seas. Think of the Going Merry as representing his self-worth and lack thereof. Man, this argument on the ship was so conflicting, because you can see Usopp as being an overly attached idiot, but you also see where he's coming from. But you also see Luffy as an idiot for not explaining the situation correctly. It's just an overall mess, bruh. Especially since the money he carried for the ship repairs was finessed by the Frankie family. And wait, hold up for a second. Can we talk about that? When bro tried to take his money back to fix his own mess, he got jumped so bad that he couldn't even speak when the rest of the Straw Hats found him outside of Frankie's house. And yo, this moment was so cold. Up until this point, we have never in our 300 episode journey seen the boys, including Chopper, so pissed. They stormed that hoe and started kicking ass and even blew the whole club up. But getting back to the present, you can see why Usopp was losing his sanity. Bro even left the crew and challenged Luffy, who was his best friend at that time, to a duel for the ship, which was doomed to sink. And this is where he had officially crossed the line, bruh, because that same night during the full moon, this man approaches in the fog. Bro's even standing there like Batman ready to take Gotham City back. And this was no exaggeration, because this long-nosed bastard didn't hold anything back when it came to fighting Luffy. Just look at these different gadgets he prepared and is using in perfect execution.
Flash style! Now special attack and star!
Oh, it stinks! They're rotten!
Careful, that gaping mouth of yours is gonna get burned! Tabasco star! I wouldn't jump around too much if I were you, cause the whole battlefield is Caltrop hell! Special attack, Pepper Star! I'm using a breath dial. You didn't notice the smell because of the rotten eggs. And now you're completely surrounded by gas.
Ain't no fucking.
Usopp. Let me talk to you, buddy. How come you are putting so much effort into beating up your best friend who truly never did you wrong? Where's all of this focus and courage when your actual enemies are trying to kill you? And the best part is, this sorry bastard never fights like this ever again. And of course Luffy does win this fight, but the ending is just sad, man. Look at the tears! Fast forward 20 episodes later and Robin is in trouble this time. Usopp wants to save her just like everyone else, but doesn't have the guts to face the Straw Hats after all the bullshit he just pulled. So what does bro do? He puts on that mask and turns into Sniper King!
Carries my name from Sniper Island far away. When I take aim, it's straight and true. Lulu la la loo.
This is so stupid. And I'm extra mad that everyone knew in the crew except for Luffy and Chopper. This man's even put on a great Saiyaman voice and telling them that he's from Sniper Island. You can't make this shit up.
What the hell is he doing over there?
Come on, just humor the poor guy. He has too much pride to show his face to the crew, but he still wants to rescue his friend.
But yeah, bro had some great moments. Shooting the government flag, saving Robin, giving Luffy a motivational speech, and even shedding tears during Mary's funeral. However, this man had no emotional awareness whatsoever. Bro really thought shit was just sweet, and he was just gonna pull up back to the ship with open arms without addressing the elephant in the room. Funny part was, some people in the crew actually were, but my boy Roanoa Zoro shut that shit down with the quickness. Checked everyone in that room, including his captain. He even made Nami dumbfounded, especially when Sanji gave him that stamp of approval. And yo, that Sanji stamp of approval is always valid because of its emotional intelligence. Anyway, it took a while, but eventually Usopp got his head out of his own ass. He apologized and begged everyone for one more chance. Then they truly accepted him with open arms. A very heartwarming moment and a great end to an arc. This is still my top 5 in One Piece. Fast forward to Dressrosa. I like this arc. Controversial take, but I like its pace way better than Wano. And no, I did not watch One Piece. I saw the bad pacing, filler, and all. Well, I skipped this filler, but I saw the bad pacing. Usopp, Robin, and some Tatas were in charge of freeing the toys from their enslavement, which was the most important job out of everybody in the Straw Hats. Watching them trying to complete this mission wasn't the worst thing in the arc, but god damn, this was irritating. Because prior to this, bro was just larping to the Keebler elves like a motherfucker. They were eating that shit up too, giving him the name Usopp and revering him as a great hero. So when it was finally game time and dealing with the actual threat at hand, them lights were bright as shit. Usopp did everyone so dirty. Half the tots were turned into toys by the little sugar bitch, and the other half was stuck in booger juice by this nasty motherfucker. Yo, nah, for real, I thought he was just a wax user or something, but this bastard is actually made of snot, which is fucking disgusting. Oh yeah, and Robin's fine ass was also turned into a toy, which makes everyone's memories of that person cease to exist. This man Usopp was shaking in his boots and did the best thing he knew how.
Run for your life! Oh, man, I knew you were gonna do that!
But the Keebler elves were guilt tripping bro so hard though. They never stopped believing in their legendary hero Usopp to save the day. And after so many episodes of being a coward, he finally confronted those bright lights and did his motherfucking thing. Bro, I get that I'm binging the anime, but I can still recognize that it took so long for this man to reach this point. And I can only imagine the wait for the manga too, dog. Good lord, I am so sorry for y'all. Bro technically lost too. When he tried to feed the little evil sugar tot his extra fireball, he failed. She fed it to him instead and stuck around for her own amusement, which was a huge mistake. Because for 2 seconds, this man became a Souls boss and started breathing fire. She passed out from shock, which freed all the toys. And this was one of the most crucial missions into defeating Doflamingo. There were some key figures that turned into toys too, including this giant named Hadruden, who is widely considered the bastard son of Harold, the former king of Elbaph. After all the ass kicking Usopp received, he was tapped out. Most of his bones looked broken, and he had snot and blood coming out of his nose. But he wasn't done yet, because once Hadruden found out who saved them from eternal enslavement, he picked him up, and everyone surrounding the area revered Usopp as their lord and savior. And this is the moment where he adopts the name God Usopp. Just look at the heavenly glow bestowed upon him.
We humbly bow down to you, great savior! Usopp the God! Usopp the God!
Larping took this man extremely far. So far, in fact, that Doflamingo gave this man a 5-star warning level. Yeah, he's cooked. All jokes aside, I do feel like this event changed Usopp's character a lot. And we will soon see how much. Because the next people to run into Sugar are Law and Luffy. But the thing is, they don't know about Sugar's powers at all. So they're cooked. Luckily, someone informed God Usopp of this encounter. This man got ready to pack that bitch up with the quickness. Hey, look at your boy, setting up his sniper shot like that all gillied up mission in COD 4. Checking his wind distance, adding attachments, calculating trajectory. This man was so locked in, he even unlocked observation hockey.
There's Luffy! This is it! Everything rides on this! Super grown-up great Black Labuto special! Long-range attack back worm! A breeze flowing from west to east. A wind force scale of 4. A slight tailwind. 2, 1. The first booster, exploding star. A slight ascension, the rear disengages. 2 seconds later, another booster fires off. The outer shell falls. The ammo launches horizontally. It's rocketing at the rampart tower towards the lower left pane. It soars through the bars and stays on course. Steadfast towards its target. Huh? It's not a direct hit, but that's intentional. Its objective is to reignite trauma. Finish! Luffy, I got your back, even if you don't realize it. Just keep pushing ahead. Sir Usopp, why you requested your likeness inscribed puzzles me. You can turn it into a tangible object, yeah? Yes, but... Just do it. I'm gonna use it for ammunition.
This man really gave this grown baby PTSD. And that's what we need, bruh. This is the Usopp we've been waiting for. Sad part is, we haven't seen that man do anything like this ever since. It's crazy too, because his fans are coping so hard when it comes to his small moments. Like this bullshit right here. They over-animated the Zora and Luffy fight and took away from Usopp's moments. Usopp's moment? What moment? Saving the ship? That's his job, bitch. Shut the fuck up.